Hey guys, my name is Nick and welcome to Watch This Now. You know, Amazon might be like the most garbage company on the face of the earth, but I love their streaming service. And you guys reacted really well to the video that I did on the best horror films currently streaming on Amazon Prime. Thank you so much to everyone who watched that video. I greatly appreciate that. If you have not watched it, I'll have it linked. But today I'm going to be bringing you the best thriller recommendations currently on Amazon Prime. So if this does, make it to you in like a year and nothing is on there, well, that's streaming. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But I gotta pat myself on the back real quick because you know what? We've got supernatural thrillers, psychological thrillers, some action thriller, horror thriller. There's a whole bunch of stuff here that I've got for you, so let's get into it. Number 10 is The Gift, a dramatic thriller directed by Sam Raimi that stars Cate Blanchett, Keanu Reeves, Hilary Swank. A whole bunch of people are in this movie. Blanchett stars as a psychic single mother living in the South who becomes involved in a police investigation when a local woman goes missing. I know on paper the idea of psychic solving crime sounds a bit direct-to-video. Direct-to-video? How old am I? 80? And this has kind of become known as the movie that Katie Holmes gets naked in, but I think it's more than that. I think this is one of Sam Raimi's best. I think it's really well made. And yes, it is more of a drama. It is on the slow side, so I know some people will call this boring, but don't worry, I got 9 more recommendations for you. If you're looking for something that will surprise the hell out of you, then I see you should do it. I can't even fully get into this movie without actually talking about what happens, but this is one of those movies that you see a series of events play out, and then, boom, actually we pull the rug right out from under you and we show you what's actually happening. But to go into it, I would say that this movie is about a police investigator, family man. He's looking into this missing teen, but the focus is really more on the family and the family drama, but then things shift, something ridiculous happens. There's just crazy stuff. This is one of the most surprising films to me personally from last year. It's not great. And I know a lot of people, they look at this movie and they just go, what the hell happened to Helen Hunt's face? I know, it's a national tragedy, but I would say that the twist in this movie is worth watching for alone. Number 8 is The Disappearance of Alice Creed. This twisty-turny British crime thriller follows 2 criminals who kidnap the daughter of a millionaire and hold her for ransom. Sounds really simple, sounds like it's not really going anywhere. Yeah, actually, just watch. This movie is so fascinating to me just from a filmmaking standpoint because for most of the movie, it's 3 people in this house in the middle of nowhere and you're not really thinking that a whole lot is gonna happen. But this movie is a complete roller coaster ride. From the beginning to the end, you will not see where things go. It constantly changes the game throughout the film, which is exactly what you want with a good thriller. Number 7 is Switchback, a 90s thriller starring Dennis Quaid, Danny Glover, and a pre-Joker Jared Leto. You know, back when he was watchable. But this one follows an FBI agent who is tracking a serial killer, but it gets extra messed up when that killer kidnaps the FBI agent's son. But this isn't your typical police procedural movie. It mostly takes place out on the road during the winter time. It's like a winter set road movie. It's really interesting and different. But I will say this is a movie that has a personal place in, I guess you could say, my heart or my nightmares, because I saw this movie, at least the opening of it, when I was a kid, and the opening is the kid getting kidnapped, and, you know, it might look a little basic now, but that shit was terrifying. On the subject of 90s road trip thrillers, let's talk about Breakdown. This one stars Kurt Russell and Kathleen Quinlan as a married couple traveling cross-country when their car breaks down in the middle of the desert. The wife goes missing, sending the husband on an adventurous mission to find her. I don't want to give away the thing that's actually, happening in this movie. I will say it gets good. It does get good. But for those who do know, I just thought it was interesting to see this sort of big budget studio movie handle this disturbingly real subject matter. And for that alone, it's very interesting. But this is another one of those action heavy ones for those Kurt Russell fans. So if you're looking for something with some energy, Breakdown is your pick. Number 5 is Swimfan, a stalker thriller from the early 2000s that follows a young male high school student who has the perfect life. He's killing it on the swim team. He's got an incredible girlfriend. He's got that picture perfect life. But he's finding that in order to keep up this image, he is under a ton of pressure. So he decides to blow off some steam by cheating on his girlfriend with a seductive new student. And you know what they say, Bitches be crazy. Obviously, she begins stalking his ass and trying to make his life a living hell, and you know where this story goes. And this one is PG-13, so it's a bit tamer than, you know, Fatal Attraction or Single White Female, but for those who like those stalker movies, as you can tell I'm a fan of, this one still has the goods. Also, can we just take a moment to wonder what the hell happened to Erica Christensen and Jesse Bradford? Where are my early 2000s stars now? Number 4 is Long Weekend. This Australian dramatic thriller follows a couple that decides to spend a long weekend at the beach, which sounds nice, right? Except their relationship is crumbling and they hate each other and everything is on fire and it's all terrible. This is not the kind of thriller that's about, you know, like someone coming to kill them or anything like that. It's just about this relationship falling apart. And trust me, it is still one of the most entertaining movies on this list. And I would say that it's the most original. What I find so interesting is that they go out to nature and then nature turns on them. From animals and the weather and just everything is just like screwing them over. But it's not a creature feature or I guess it's kind of an environmental thriller, but it's just interesting to watch these two go back and forth as everything falls apart around them, and it's just so damn good. Like I said, I like those stalker thrillers, so at number 3 I have Unsane. This was directed by Academy Award winner Steven Soderbergh and stars Golden Globe winner Claire Foy as Sawyer, a woman who is trying to get over a stalker. She moves to a new city, she gets a new job, she's trying to start a whole new life, but she still sees her stalker everywhere she goes. So she goes to a mental facility for a counseling session and finds herself involuntarily committed. But even worse, Sawyer thinks that her stalker is in there with her. And the question becomes, is she or isn't she insane? This is a really great setup for a stalker thriller, but there's also this really interesting subplot about facilities like involuntarily committing people, like tricking them into committing themselves for this like insurance scam. It's really interesting. I'll let the movie do it for you, but there's a whole lot going on in this little movie, so if you have not seen it already, quit putting it off. I know I already mentioned this in my video on isolation horror on Amazon Prime, but no one watched that, so watch Unsane. Number 2 is Jacob's Ladder, directed by one of my favorite directors of all time, Adrian Lyne. In this one, Tim Robbins stars as a Vietnam vet who loses his grip on reality after he experiences a series of increasingly bizarre hallucinations. This one heads straight into the batshit crazy territory, so if you're looking for a total mindfuck, you've come to the right place. Of course, I always save the best for last, and number 1 happens to be one of my favorite movies of all time, and that's David Lynch's Blue Velvet. Kyle MacLachlan plays a college student who returns to his hometown, which seems to be the perfect suburban paradise. It's exactly where you want to raise your kid. Until our protagonist discovers a human ear in the middle of a field, which is extremely not normal. So he tries to figure out where this damn ear came from, and he ends up uncovering this entire criminal underbelly within this seemingly perfect town. Blue Velvet also stars Isabella Rossellini, Laura Dern, and the late great Dennis Hopper. And I know David Lynch stuff is not for everyone, but this is probably his most accessible work, and I think the best thing that he's ever done. And if you're looking to get weirded out, this movie will get under your skin without any gore or anything. It is just... I'm gonna let you discover that for yourself. But if you are into David Lynch and you haven't seen his masterpiece show Twin Peaks, it's time. And Twin Peaks is streaming on Hulu and Netflix if you have those. That's a whole bunch for you to binge, so get on it. And that's my list. I hope I got some good recommendations to you guys, whether you haven't seen any of these or if you haven't seen them in a while. I know Amazon Prime is tricky. They have got so much stuff on there, it is hard to know where to begin, so I'm gonna keep these videos coming. I'm gonna give you all the good recommendations. Thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. Before you go, make sure you like this video, hit the comments to let me know what your personal favorites are, and subscribe to Watch This Now, so that way you can be on the lookout for all of the good recommendation videos. I got a lot of lists planned, so get ready. But that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.